We warmly welcome you to the IGCSE Options event for the academic year 2026.
We are your hosts for today's event, myself Ms. Ambika Tia,
And myself, Ms. Daisy Matthew, Team Leader, Year 7 Girls.
and we are delighted to guide you through this program. But before we go into further details, I request all of you to stand up for the national anthem.
Thank you. Please take your seats. Now let's listen to a beautiful Quran recitation by Yusuf Hussain of Year 9 BF.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبانا لفي ضلال مبين. اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين. قال قائل منهم لا تقتلوا يوسف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين. تأمنا على يوسف قالوا يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب وإنا له لحافظون قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you, Yusuf. Today's meeting aims to prepare you and your child for the next stage of their academic journey. As your Year 9 students approach the end of this academic year, they will transition from Key Stage 3 to Key Stage 4, an important and exciting milestone.
This transition offers students for the first time the opportunity to choose their subjects and begin shaping their future pathways. Now, I would like to request our school's principal and CEO, Ms. Valerie Thompson, to commence the program with her welcome speech.
Thank you, ladies. I'm very impressed, so many parents here with you students today. Thank you very, very much for joining us. This just relates to the importance of the meeting, so good that you are starting to think already about options. These are a big milestone for your child. The jump, the transition from Key Stage 3 to Key Stage 4 is significant and it is a challenge. We are here to support, but you need to be prepared for that next level up, because we have to prepare the students then for going to the next level. That would be AS and A level. And those are the keys to get into university. So the options you choose now are very, very important. You need to balance strengths of your student, strengths of your child, with their things that they want to do, their ambitions for their subject, their career that they want, but also to give them a balance. So if they decide later, I don't like this, I hate physics, I'm never going to do physics again, you haven't put everything into one kind of area. It's not all sciences, unless you're going to be a doctor and then maybe that's different. But generally, students maybe are not sure what they want to be. They don't know. My son decided like when he was 25. It's a nightmare. So for him, my advice was always keep your options open. So have English maybe, have something business, or have something science or maths or whatever your strengths are. But try and keep your options open. All right, that's if you are not sure. So if you are sure, then you know exactly which subjects, which university, what they require for IGs, what's going to allow you to go into AS and A levels. Because if you decide, oh, I want to be a doctor, oh, I don't have any science IGs. Well, that's a problem. Okay, so you need a lot of discussion with your child and children, with your parents, maybe some negotiation, and think very carefully. Do some research, go to some university subjects. What kind of subjects are they going to require at IG to allow you to do AS and A level? Okay, easy peasy. Are you ready? All right, let's get going. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Valerie, for your insightful words. I would also request Mr. Sujahat, our Vice Principal, to please address the audience with regards to the IGCSE options evening.
Assalamu alaikum. Afternoon, everyone. Firstly, thank you for all of you for turning up. Normally we get this sort of turn up for a concert, but for an option evening, it's brilliant. One thing I would say, just following up on what Miss Valerie has said, your children are at a very important junction. They have to choose their subjects, but it doesn't mean that they just sit there and say, oh, I'll do physics, biology, chemistry, what other science, computer science, I will do maths, I will do all these. They have to be very realistic of where they want to go to. And that refers to, what is your final destination? What career do they want to go down? But what country do they want to go to do that in? The requirements that you need if you're going to go to, for example, do medicine in Georgia are different to doing medicine in India or Pakistan. What is the equivalency that you require? So they have to prepare for that now and be aware of it. The other big thing is the same old career pathways, it's changing, right? And we have to be aware of that. So as much as we want to give our students options, we have to make them aware of what career pathways there are. If somebody said to me, cybersecurity, 5 years ago, I would have said, what a load of rubbish. You know, cybersecurity, it's not going to be that big. It is one of the highest paying jobs, and a lot of our students move on and they go on to do cybersecurity in the UAE and around the world. If you look at data science, if you mention data science to people, they'll rank it near the bottom. Data science is one of the biggest, fastest moving things. And I don't want to keep saying it, but when we talk about like AI, talk about robotics, it's very standard law. AI, yes, ChatGPT, but it's bigger than that. And a lot of our students are exposed to it. So right now is the time to think, where do you want to be in like 3 years' time? Are you going to go to your home country to follow university? Are you going to be in the UAE, right? Or are you going to go somewhere else, Europe, UK, US? And those choices are important, and that determines what subjects you choose as well. Lastly, what I just want to add in, we always listen to our parents. So if you have suggestions, I've seen quite a few of you before, and you come to me and said, actually in Egypt, they prefer the 129 system, bring that in, right? So what do? We brought the exam codes in. Then you came back and you said, why are you not doing edXL? And you must have seen the videos from Miss Summer, from Mr. Manoj, from secondary team. We've looked at those and we brought them in as well. So the students, as soon as they go to sixth form, they'll get modular assessments. So it's really, really good. We do listen to our parents, so don't think we'd never listen to you. It just takes a little bit of time to make sure that we can process things and put them in. So thank you to the secondary team for implementing a lot of that, looking after them. If you have any questions, I'll be here as well, but you've got all these people around, and I'm sure they'll cover a lot more. And students, thank you so much for being here with your parents, and parents, thank you for supporting them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shujahat. We are grateful for your meaningful message. Benjamin Franklin once said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. On this note, let us look at the requirements by Ministry of Education to graduate in 2026-27 and beyond. I would like to request our Secondary Assistant Principal, Mr. Alfred Franklin, to talk about the MOE requirements. So please.
Good evening. Thank you very much, parents, who are joining us here, who are joining us online. Thank you so much for taking your time. This part, which I am going to talk about, is very important. Now, as Mr. Suj and Ms. Val said, I just want to continue from that. What I'm going to discuss, or what I'm going to talk to you about now, is the requirement of the ministry of the UAE if you want to get your certification attested. And I am not going to tell you that this is the requirement for all the countries, like it has been already told before. So just the one which I'm going to say is based only on the requirement of equivalency in the UAE. The expectation of the Ministry of Education in UAE is every child should do 12 years, or we call it as grade 12 or year 13 in the UK curriculum, schooling. That is the minimum expectation. They have to be in school till grade 12. To finish their IGCSE course, or what we call it as 11 here, year 10 and 11 is a 2-year IGCSE course, they need to pass in 5 subjects, not inclusion of Islamic studies and Arabic language, 5 subjects with an A star to E if it is a letter grading, 9 to 3 if it is number grading. So this is the requirement to get your certificate equalized in the UAE. At the bottom, I've just given a promo after your children finish your IGCSE course. When they come for their 6th form, what is the expectation of the ministry to get your certificate equalized is they need to finish 2 subjects in AS level or 1 subject in A level with a passing grade of A star to E. This is the expectation of the local ministry. If you are planning to take your children for higher education inside the UAE after finishing year 13, you all need to get your certificate equalized to be submitted to the university, and this is what they are looking at. Let me not tell you any, I don't want to leave you with any misinformation. A star to E is the requirement from the local government, but if you are going for higher studies, if you are looking for 6th form, the grade requirements are not A star to E. The Cambridge University website always says when you finish your IGCSE, A star to B would get a specific set of skills that will help them to go through 6th form. That is for later, but this is the requirement of the government. So now in our school, like Mr. Suj already said, that we are giving both A star to G as well as 1 to 9 system. And I think this general information which everyone knows. The only thing that we want to insist is the second point, which is the syllabus is the same, the content is the same. Only the difference is how the university or the board is going to award the grade sheet in. If you are going to apply for letter grades, they will give the grade sheets in letters. If you are going to apply for number system, they will give it in numbers. But this would be done while you are applying for the external examinations. As far as the learning goes, syllabus, examination, question paper, everything is the same. Only it is the inside the board, the marking is the difference. So that is not going to affect how the school goes, so we can You can apply for any one of the system based on, like Ms. Val said, when you're working backwards from which country or which university, which course you want to go. When you work backwards, if you feel that number system will give my child a better opportunity to go, you would choose for that. If you are thinking that A star to G system will help, you will choose that. So that is for now, but when you are applying for exams. As far as the exams, it is all the same. There is no difference. Only the grading system is different. This is the general information about which you can find it on Cambridge system also. So A star to G grade based on marks, and 9 to 1 is based on the percentile system. So if you are reading in this side, you can see in the second part we have very clearly said that the awarding of A star and 9 are worked out in different ways. A star is based on number of marks the student achieves. Grade 9 shows that a student is in the top percentage of students that achieved over a grade 7. So it is a little bit of different how the board works it out. You don't have to worry much about it. This is just for your information. Everything is done in the Cambridge board. So in case you think that my child will get a better score, especially we sometimes used to say if a child is having a lower C or the upper C, they will still come in number 4, which you can see that it is considered between grades B and C. So it is more beneficial for certain universities, if you are applying for, to show your child's performances between A star to C. So that is one thing that will be beneficial for our students. That's why many parents requested. We have gone through what it is, and this is general information for you. So this is quite a lot to take at the start. As soon as you finish the options, all the other discussions, we are around here. You can ask us. We can explain a little more about what it is, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin, for sharing about the ministry requirements. It was quite informative indeed. All students have a choice in subjects that they study in Key Stage 4. Let's look at the options form in detail. While we discuss the options form, I would request parents to have a look at the given form. Parents online can look at the form uploaded. I would request the Deputy Head of Secondary, Ms. Seema Deshmukh, to take us through the subjects offered at WSS and help our parents and students understand their selection path.
Good evening, dear parents. You turning up in such a large number today itself is a testimony that how much you're involved in your child's learning journey. You're all curious to know what subjects are offered at WSS. Before I walk you through the subject options, what matters the most when a child opts for a particular subject? Is it the passion for the subject? Is it the future plan, performance, or progress? That's a food for your thought before you make up your choice. Can we move to the next slide, please? So here at WSS, we have 4 option blocks. Block A is largely about the mandatory subjects. As you can see, Arabic and social studies is mandatory for all the students, along with mathematics, whereas Islamic studies is mandatory for Muslim students. Next slide, please. Block B consists of languages, English as a first language as well as English as a second language. Between 2 of them, you're expected to choose one. Block C has physics optional to business studies, chemistry optional to economics, and biology optional to accounting. These are the fixed blocks, like you can have either physics or business studies, chemistry or economics, or biology or accounting. You can't mix and match over there. Thank you. Block D, this has the largest number of subject options, and out of these subjects, you can choose one as a mandation. But if you wish, You can also go for more than one. I'll explain that in detail in the next slide. Next slide, please. Every student is expected to choose minimum of 6 subjects at the end of year 9 in order to proceed with IGCSE course, which starts at year 10. Ministry Arabic and UE Social Studies are excluding those 6 subjects. Group sizes for every subject must be 20 students. What I mean here is, in order to proceed with the subject successfully, that subject should have at least 20 students enrolled in it or opted for it. If that doesn't happen, we will offer another subject as a choice to those students. Entry into external examinations will be charged and refunds will not be given. No subject changes are allowed once the subjects are opted for and the form is submitted. Can we move to the next slide, please? Okay. So if the students wish to pursue more than 6 subjects, there are 2 options. One, if the subject is offered at WSS, and the second one, the subjects that are not offered at WSS. If a child wants to study a course that is offered at WSS, he is expected or she is expected to appear for mock 1 examination in year 11 and expected to secure at least a grade of C. Based on that performance, a subject leader will be able to approve or disapprove his preparedness and mastery for the going forward, whether he will be able to appear for the examination or not. Once approved, the student can proceed with the registration process through school. But if a student wish to continue with the subject that is not offered at WSS, they can register privately through British Council and school will provide with no objection certificate in order to do that. I hope I have made myself clear with the subject options. If you have any doubt, we can ask about that during question answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Seema, for this detailed and intricate information. Now, let's call upon our Case 5 students, Nida Ghazali, Year 12 GF, and Gana Matas from Year 12 GH, to brief you on the subjects. They'll be focusing on the content of subjects and the assessment overview for each subject.
Good afternoon. The first course is First Language English, subject code 0500. All candidates must appear for 2 papers, paper 1, reading, and paper 2, writing. Each paper has a duration of 2 hours and is worth 80 marks each with an equal weightage of 50%.
English as a second language, subject code 0511. All candidates are to appear for all 3 components. Paper 1, reading and writing, paper 2, listening, and paper 3, speaking. Paper 1 has a duration of 2 hours, a weightage of 60%, and is worth 60 marks. Paper 2 has a duration of approximately 50 minutes, while paper 3 is allotted 10 to 15 minutes. Both papers have a weightage of 20% and are worth 40 marks each.
Mathematics, subject code 0580. All candidates take 2 components, paper 2 and paper 4. Paper 2 is a non-calculator paper and paper 4 is a calculator paper. The duration of both papers is 2 hours. Both carry 100 marks and have a 50% weightage each.
Chemistry, subject code 0620. Students learn about the basic principle of matter and the changes it undergoes, and consider both macroscopic and macroscopic information through a mix of theoretical and practical studies.
Physics, subject code 0625. Students learn about the basic principles of matter, energy, and the interaction between them through a mix of theoretical and practical studies.
Biology, subject code 0610. Students learn about the basic principle of life and living organisms through a mix of theoretical and practical studies.
All candidates must appear for 3 papers for each of the science subjects, paper 2, 4, and 6. Paper 2 is a multiple choice question paper with a duration of 45 minutes and of 40 marks, which has a 30% weightage of the total available marks.
Paper 4 is a theory paper with a duration of 1 hour 15 minutes and of 80 marks. This paper has a 50% weightage of the total available marks. Paper 6 is an alternative to practical paper with a duration of 1 hour and 40 marks, which has a 20% weightage of the total available marks.
Food and Nutrition, subject code 0648. Food and Nutrition permits students to gain knowledge and develop practical skills in a way that keeps in mind factors such as personal or family needs, lifestyle, and how diet is directly linked to health. Candidates appear for 2 compulsory components, Paper 1, Theory, and Paper 2, Practical Test. Paper 1 has a time duration of 2 hours. For Paper 2, candidates first have a planning session of 1 hour and 30 minutes 1 week before the practical test and a time duration of 2 hours and 30 minutes for the actual practical test. Both papers are worth 100 marks each and have an equal weightage of 50%.
Information and Communication Technology, ICT, subject code 0417. All candidates are expected to answer all 3 components. Paper 1, Theory. Paper 2, Document Production, Database and Presentation. Paper 3, Spreadsheet and Website Authorizing. Paper 1 has a duration of 1 hour and 30 minutes. It is worth 80 marks and carries a weightage of 40%. For practical papers, Paper 2 and Paper 3 are each 2 hour and 15 minutes long, or 70 marks each and carries a weightage of 30% each.
Computer Science, subject code 0478. All candidates take 2 papers. Paper 1, Computer Systems, and Paper 2, Algorithms, Programming and Logic. The duration of both papers is 1 hour and 45 minutes, and both papers carry 75 marks each with a 50% weightage.
Business Studies, subject code 0450. All candidates will answer 2 papers. Paper 1, Short Answer and Database Response. Paper 2, Case Study. Both papers have a duration of 1 hour and 30 minutes, with 80 marks each and an equal weightage of 50%.
Economics, subject code 0455. All candidates will be writing 2 papers. Paper 1, Multiple Choice, and Paper 2, Structured Questions. Paper 1 is allotted a duration of 45 minutes, is worth 30 marks, and carries a weightage of 30%. Paper 2 has a duration of 2 hours and 15 minutes, is worth 90 marks, and carries a weightage of 70%.
Accounting, subject code 0452. All candidates appear for 2 papers. Paper 1, Multiple Choice, and Paper 2, Structured Written Paper. Paper 1 is 1 hour and 15 minutes in duration, is worth 35 marks, and carries a weightage of 30%. Paper 2 is 1 hour and 45 minutes in duration, is worth 100 marks, and has a weightage of 70%.
GCSE Psychology, subject code 1PS0. Candidates appear for 2 papers, Paper 1 and Paper 2. Paper 1 carries 98 marks and has a 55% weightage with a duration of 1 hour and 45 minutes. Paper 2 carries 79 marks and has a 45% weightage with a duration of 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Art and Design, subject code 0400. Students learn and apply a range of skills to produce art and design work. All candidates are graded in 2 ways: Component 1, coursework, and Component 2, externally set assignment. Both components carry 100 marks each and have a weightage of 50% each.
Geography, subject code 0460. One of the aims of this syllabus is to enable students to develop an understanding of location on a local, regional, and global scale. All candidates appear for 3 papers. Paper 1, Geographical Themes, Paper 2, Geographical Skills, and Paper 4, Alternative to Coursework. Papers 1 and 2 have a time duration of 1 hour and 45 minutes. It is worth 75 marks and has a weightage of 36%. Paper 4 has a duration of 1 hour and 30 minutes, worth 60 marks and has a weightage of 28%.
اللغة العربية كلغة أولى. الرمز 7180. تتكون من ورقتين. الورقة الأولى الكتابة، وتتكون من سؤالين. الأول كتابة رسالة أو تقرير أو خطاب، وعدد الكلمات 150 كلمة. الثاني كتابة وصف أو سرد أو مقال، وعدد الكلمات 250 كلمة. الورقة الثانية تتكون من السؤال الأول اختيار من متعدد، والسؤال الثاني فهم مقروء وتلخيص، والسؤال الثالث يتضمن قواعد النحو والبلاغة.
Arabic as a first language, subject code 7180. Cambridge IGCSE Arabic gives learners the opportunity to develop practical communication skills in reading and writing. All candidates take two components, paper 1, writing, and paper 2, reading and grammar. Both papers have a time duration of 1 hour and 30 minutes and are worth 50 marks with a 50% weightage each. Thank you. We would now like to hand over the mic to Ms. Daisy.
Thank you, girls, for sharing the details of each subject. We truly appreciate your time and efforts. A famous person once said, "To begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. As complex as it might sound, it's vital to overcome as milestones, to achieve these milestones successfully."
To talk more about planning and helping you in taking decisions, I would like to call the guidance counselor of our school, Ms. Anisha Jayakumar.
Good evening, dear parents. Thank you so much for joining us today. It means a lot to have all of you together for this event, considering this is one of the most crucial first turning points of your children's lives. Can we have the slide? Yeah. So what I'm here today is to talk about the importance of backward planning. Now let's understand what backward planning is. We start with year 9 and then progressively move to year 10 and 11. However, once you reach your year 12 or 13, or when you apply for university, you realize you don't have the required subjects which you should have taken in your IGCSE. So that is exactly what we are going to focus on today. Like Ms. Val had mentioned initially, it is important that you are aware of what at least your interest is. Do a little bit of research on it. You could check with the universities, just research something online to see what are the recent courses that's upcoming. What subject combinations are required. So let's say for medicine, like Mr. Shajad mentioned, for some countries it is physics, chemistry, bio. For some, chemistry, bio, and math is acceptable. So having an idea as to the combination of subjects, that could help your child enter into the field that they're interested in is what we're looking at. And when you start with, researching yourself, let's say 4 or 5 years ahead from now, that is where your backward planning starts. So you have a long-term goal. And from there, you start planning your short-term goals, which will definitely include the starting point, which is your correct subject choice. Furthermore, you could always get into, once you progress into your IGCSE years, you will receive emails regarding the different internship opportunities, paid, unpaid, both. You would receive courses that can benefit your interest. So it is important that you explore your options and understand, is this suitable for me? Or at least understand, no, this is not something I'm interested in. Building your portfolio is equally important. When I say portfolio, what it means is having an active participation all throughout while being in the school, which means, let's take US universities. It is extremely important that you are not only academically well-rounded, it is important that you are very good at extracurriculars as well. So any clubs that you are interested in, any extracurriculars, your sports, music, arts, whatever your passion and interest is. Let's say, do not hold yourself back. Explore all the opportunities WSS offers you while you're here. These are your golden years. It is important that we are aware of how to take the next steps. Be well informed. Do not go at the stage where you regret, had I known it before, I would have chosen a different path. That is why taking the right choice, making the right decision along with your parents, who are your support system all through the while. It is extremely important that you are on the same page, that you make choices that are in line with your passion. You reach out to us for help if you need any kind of support. Check with the teachers. Let's say you're talking about accounting or business, a subject you've never done before. Approach the HOD or the subject teachers who are already available in school, or they're right here. You could always check with them, what am I expected to do? What skills do I need to have to excel in this subject? And then make an informed decision. If you need any further guidance, you can always walk up to me. I'm also available here. There are students and parents who I've met before as well. We are always there to support you all through your journey from your year 9 or even before until your admission to the university. We do support students with the applications to universities all around the world. Be it recommendation letters, applications, it does not matter. You need something, it is important that you approach us at the right time so we can support you through every step. I hope what we've discussed here today has made some impact on you, because later on, we've had, if you're not sure what subject to take up, if you don't take a subject at this stage in IGCSE, you will not be able to take it up in your year 12 and 13. Please have it very, very clear from this point on. Whatever you choose in your IGCSE, only from those subjects, as you score the required grade as per the WSS, you will be offered that particular subject in your year 12. So you cannot take up a new subject at year 12 or in year 13. So these are crucial things that you need to keep in mind when you choose your subjects and as you continue your journey with WSS. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Anisha, for your valuable words. It truly made us understand why backward planning is important.
Now, I would like to welcome our Vice Principal, Mr. Sujat Munir, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you everyone for coming again. Thank you for the secondary team who've organised it. Thank you guys for sharing your experience. Like I said earlier on, it's extremely important when you're choosing your subjects just now that, like Miss Anisha said, backward planning. But at the same time, there's some things that we can control and others we can't. So a couple of things I just want to share with you that what we had to deal with. Parents coming to us in year 11 and saying, I need this subject changed, right? Sometimes it's impossible. You're asking for top subjects that are in a different column. Those changes can physically not be made because it's not possible on the timetable. You might think, yeah, it's just a case of change the subject. I will send them to a tuition centre and then they'll magically come back and they'll do amazing. And that's perfectly fine, but for us to physically accommodate that in a school is impossible. So that's one thing I just want to clarify. In terms of support that we have in the school, you've got Miss Anisha, you've got the form tutors, you've got team leaders, Mr. Franklin, you've got Miss Seema, and the exam officers are here as well. So if there are any key questions that you have, honestly, just come approach us and we're here to answer your questions. Once again, thank you for a really, really good turnout. It's great to see you're all vested in your children's future and you're here to ask questions. Don't be anxious. So when I saw you all trying to come inside, I was like, are you okay? They're like, no, no, no. Right, so it's fine. We can have a great conversation today. Everybody's here. Any questions you have, just ask us. And thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sujahat, for your valuable words. Displayed are the details of the subject heads along with the number to represent their counters. Even though we will be sending today's presentation for further clarification, the floor is now open for the parents to visit the subject heads seated here with their queries. We also have Mr. Franklin and Ms. Seema, SLT members of secondary section, to answer your queries.
Ms. Shirin, Key Stage 4 phase leader, along with Ms. Ashia and Ms. Deeti, team leader for year 10 and 11, will be answering the queries of parents online.
Thank you very much. We will take some of your questions if you have anything pertaining to what you have heard. And if you have any questions later, yes, we will be answering it through emails, and online answering is going on. So if it is any specific case, for example, if you have already worked backwards and you are planning to take your child to one particular country and you have heard information about that, Miss Anisha is here, you can always speak to her. She will be able to tell you, okay, this requirement is correct and this requirement is not correct. So then in that way, it will be very easy for you to make the informed choice. I just wanted to reiterate what Mr. Suja had said. I know that you are all sitting here, I can understand, you understand the seriousness of this evening and the course that you are going to start with. And from year 10 onwards, you are going to set your children in a path that where they want to reach. So if you are going to choose the subjects based on your research, based on your child's capabilities and abilities and natural tendency towards the subject, it will be very, very helpful for them to go through the course. In case, if you need any more guidance, we always recommend you to look at the CAT4 report of your child, where they have already given the learning style as well as the predicted grades of IGCSE. So that is another very, very strong source, which is from external source where the child has written and showed their aptitude. That will help you a lot. Apart from that, if you have any question, Mike will come around. You can ask. We are glad to answer. If you want to move around and meet the subject teachers or leaders, you are most welcome to do. If any question for us, feel free to ask us. We will answer. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Humayun Kabir, parent of Sami.
Yeah.
So we are planning like this. We will keep both options. We can go for medical or for engineering. In that case, how we can choose our subject?
Very good question. Again, that's what that was informed. For medical, in some countries, they want physics, chemistry, and biology. In some countries, they want biology, chemistry, and mathematics. So, we have already showed that in our options, mathematics is a compulsory subject. So, then in that case, you are left with chemistry and biology, and then you can choose another subject instead of physics, because physics is more towards engineering. So if you are planning to do only that, so you can choose here, and then you can choose one subject towards the business studies side. And in the option D, there are a lot of subjects we have given, so you can choose maybe ICT or maybe computer science from there. So it will be kind of spanning across.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Can you explain? Can you please explain regarding Edexcel? You have not explained these. They are providing here or no?
Edexcel we are providing